Hey, yeah, what's up? This Disciple Marshall Occurrence rain back up in this anti-Illuminati all day, anti-telepathy all day, anti-America all day, and everybody with him, yeah. So, so we established in the first video about talking about this group, the Illuminati, that is started in Germany by Adam Weishaupt, and we took it out as conspiracy. We've made it real. We now know that it's real. We've made it tangible for you. We've taken all the foolishness out the way. Now you see this is a part of history. This is not conspiracy. It's a part of history. Okay. Now let's proceed now in this video and get straight to it and get into some new stuff. Okay. What we're dealing with here now with the Illuminati in America is an Americanized version. The Illuminati here is an Americanized version. It did not keep its original purpose, okay? It became Americanized. And most people will agree that anything that becomes Americanized in America usually becomes corrupt and a shell of whatever it is. Same thing with Christianity. Like you heard me mention Perry Stone. He's awesome. There's not a lot of Perry Stones in the world. There's not a lot of Perry Stones in America. A lot of American Christians are Americanized. Say that again. A lot of American Christians are Americanized. Okay? Severely Americanized. Where it doesn't even make sense at all. Okay? And you don't really feel it because honestly, the Americanizing process is never good. I promise you, it's never good, man. It's never good. So I say all that to say the real problem is not necessarily the Illuminati. It's the Americanizing of the Illuminati. That's the problem. Adam Weishaupt did not set out to kill and destroy and to witch hunt. Witch hunt and gang stalk people. He didn't set out to do that. If you follow his teachings, that was not what he set out to do. Okay? America, these Americans are the problem. Let's shake off the names, let's shake off the labels, and let us agree that we have an American problem. When you look at your government that allows 40 states to allow children to have sex, we have an American problem. When you have a president that destroys 20 years of progress over in Afghanistan, we have an American problem. When you have cops shooting innocent black people, we have an American problem. When we still see black people in the ghetto, but you see Mexicans have their own Chinatown, and you see Asians have their own Chinatown, but Africans was the first ones laboring here with Americans, we have a problem. When you see that Africans don't have Africatown, yes, we have a problem. Our problem is America. Eventually things grow naturally and understandings come naturally and things come about naturally. And now that all things have grown up, the problem is America. And some would say it would be a better world without the system, specifically, not the people necessarily, not the humanity of America, the principles and those who choose not to let go of the principles of America. It would be a better world without them. It's what it is. Conspiracy against Martin Luther King Jr., American government killed our best leader that could still be here. If Betty White almost made it to a 100, why couldn't Martin Luther King Jr. almost have made it to 100? This is what gets me mad, boy. This is what gets me mad. Because when you see that Martin Luther King Betty White was almost 100, Martin Luther King Jr. could have still been here, just like her. But the American government conspired against Martin Luther King Jr. and they settled out of court with Martin Luther King Jr.'s family in 1999. That ain't conspiracy either. Y'all need to start looking at, you need to start coming in the real world about stuff that's going on, because the first thing you want to do in America is talking about, oh, conspiracy, what is real and what's not real. And you ain't done no kind of research. Perfect example of that is the rapper Crazy Bone. This guy, in his first album that came out in 1999 as well, same year American government settled out of court with Martin Luther King Jr., he made this album all about the mark of the beast, all about Armageddon, everything. Even one of the members, Lazy Bone, he made a song. He had sound bites in some of his verses that talked about just killing off the Illuminati. Okay, so Lazy Bone and him in the same group. Lazy Bone talks about the Illuminati, but on the interview, Crazy Bone says he doesn't know if it exists. I'm not trying to be on top of this guy. I'm not trying to be king on top of this guy, because he did what he did. He does what he do. You know what I'm saying? But if you're gonna talk about something, and you're gonna have your community, your fan base feel that you are about the mark of the beast, the Armageddon, and everything, and you got the guy that you started rapping with, he talks about it in his raps. Lazy Bone, he talked about it, and his soundbite was just kill off the Illuminati in one of his verses. You know what I'm saying? You can look at it's a video that with him and Tupac. And it basically says F the Illuminati. That's the name of the song. Okay, so you would think that if you're in the same rap group with a guy that talks about this group, that you would take 5-10 minutes to go Google it. 5-10 minutes ain't even gonna take you that long. You know what I'm saying? Take 5-10 minutes out of your time and just Google it, and you would have seen that it's a real group. He goes on on an international video, this Drink Champ video, which hits international levels. He goes on there and says he doesn't even know if it's real or not. Which, you know what happens when people do that? It then begins to keep everybody in this zone of thinking this group is a conspiracy. He dropped the ball. While he talking about the mark of the beast on songs, while he's talking about all the corruption that's going on, he drops the ball because he didn't do his research. That's the kind of stuff I'm saying. It would have been better if he just didn't say he didn't know anything at all, man. I mean, something to that extent. No comment, basically. Anyway, this group, this is how a lot of people, unfortunately, because people don't study, a lot of people are like Crazy Bone. They don't know this group exists. They don't know if it's conspiracy. He's a perfect example in the situation that I'm talking about. Okay? But we do know this was a group. I didn't have to, like I always tell people with the information I got, I didn't have to take a boat and go across a river and go to a cave and go to a pond in the river and break open some scrolls in pottery to find this information. It's right there at your access. It's just whether you're about that life or not. It's whether you're about seeing what's going on or not. And then he has a podcast talking about let the truth talks. Bruh, you don't even know Illuminati is a group. That's disappointing, man. That's disappointing, man. You should now be a student of this group. I'm just saying. Truth, you got a podcast talking about truth talk, let the truth talk to him. Bruh, you don't even know actually what's going on and what is the truth, bruh. So how can you really speak on this, bruh? That's what I'm saying, man. So anyway, man, this is a major, major problem. As you can see, if a famous person that has all these, that has wealth and all these things, he don't lack laptops, he don't lack smartphones, he don't lack none of that. And then look, still ignorant of this group. Okay? Gives you a perfect example. A person here in America has wealth, everything, access to knowledge, still doesn't know. So just imagine everyday people that, don't even have technology or good technology, but they don't even take good technology. You can go to a library and get some time on a computer and find this information out. Okay? So, what I'm trying to establish now, and I'm probably have to do 3 parts. What I'm trying to establish now is the difference between the German Illuminati and the American Illuminati. This is where we have the problem. The visions are different. They're not the same thing. And the perfect example I can show you is America. Same thing. They started out, separate from their country, England. They came over here to separate and to have freedom. They didn't come over here with the intention of being world police like they are now. Boom. They didn't come over here with the intention of destroying and any leaders in white domination. Boom. Not even the intention to get slaves and bring them here. Boom. So now the real original purpose is totally gone. As far as America, it's the same thing with the Illuminati. It's the same thing. You cannot point to, the same vision that Adam Weishaupt had, that this group here, this has. What the American Illuminati is doing, foundationally, is gang stalking. You better listen good. They're gang stalking all throughout your community. They're all everywhere like rats and roaches. They're in your buildings where you live. You better listen good, Christians. Seasoned saints, seasoned spiritual warriors, listen good. They're all in your buildings. They're all in your neighborhoods. They're recruiting too. You have to remind you. Some people may not have been the Illuminati. They get recruited when they have an enemy in the area. So if you're in the area and you're an enemy already, they can recruit around you. You see what I'm saying? They can recruit at the grocery store you're at. They can recruit in the delis. They can recruit everywhere you live. All around where you live. They can recruit all through the neighborhood. Young people, old people, everything in between. They can recruit throughout your entire neighborhood just to defeat you. You know what I'm saying? And this is what you have to understand. Usually it's people like spiritual warriors, prophets, high-ranking people, even at times it's people that have vendettas against you that's in that group. And so now you have problems because someone in that group has a vendetta against you. Okay? You have to understand that. So that defines how people that really are not doing anything are not, they're not rock stars, they're not preachers or anything. Sometimes it may be someone that's in that group that told that group certain informations enough for them to gang stalk you. Okay, so that's their main thing that they're doing that Adam Weishaupt probably wouldn't have agreed with. This is Americanized Illuminati. And what I am calling for people to see, especially the people in Germany, is that this group is using your name, but they're not living up to what Adam Weishaupt wanted. They're not doing what Adam Weishaupt wanted them to do, which means they're not the same thing. It's something else. I'm going to have to do videos on this too about America. This is why we're calling America to resign from its position in the world, because you are not what you originally was. You're not. And I want people that go back, way back in the bloodlines of original America to look at what you have here now. Boom. That part. That's it. And so that you can call these people to resign. They're not practicing the same principles as the original forefathers. They're breaking the constitutional rights. And I'm going to do another video and have a campaign going on that too. You can't be American breaking constitutional rights of other Americans. You can't be. You're something else. Because the Constitution is what defines an American. We all come from different walks of life. So what makes us Americans? We all have different experiences here. So what makes us really American? The constitutional rights, the constitutions, the amendments. Okay? The amendment rights. That makes us Americans. And if you have FBI, Illuminati, gang stalking people, these people are not American. They're breaking the Constitution. I don't care if they hang a plaque up in the sky that says desperate times, desperate measures. You should be great enough and skilled enough as the greatest superpower in the world to be able to do your job without breaking the constitutional rights of other Americans. I don't care what it is in the name of. If it's in the name of terrorism, I don't care what it's in the name of. You are American based on keeping and upholding constitutional rights of other Americans. So it's safe to say if they're not respecting your rights, your constitutional rights, and they're not having those constitutional rights in perspective, that they're going rogue and there's some wild boar running around doing whatever they want to do. And that's the bottom line. And that's the same thing with the Illuminati. They're a wild boar rogue from Adam Weishauпт's original purpose. Therefore, they need to come up with a different name. And so does America. This is not America anymore. This is not America no more. That's why you have all the energy you have, all the crazy energy. That tells you, and it ain't because of foreign people. It's actually because of patriots, so-called patriots, that are breaking constitutional rights of other Americans. That's the biggest foundational problem why America is a shell of what it used to be and not America anymore. You can't break the Constitution and call yourself American. Go ask a military, can you do that? Can you break the Constitution and call yourself American? I can't look to these politicians. I don't believe in them. I don't believe in them anymore. Ask these military people that put their life on the line, that have the utmost honor in their heart and souls. Can you break the constitutional rights of Americans and call yourself American? Can't talk to the police either. They shooting people. Go talk to some military. Ask them. Because all of them ain't indulged in all this foolishness. Police is indulged in foolishness. American community is indulged in foolishness. Politicians is indulged in foolishness. Ask the military, can you break constitutional rights and call yourself American? You cannot. You cannot. And therefore, you're not American. You don't have the luxury of breaking the constitutional rights of people and run around and waltz around and call yourself American. We have to make fool. We have to draw the line and let foolishness be foolishness, and let rogue people be rogue people, whether it be Americans, the politicians. Because that's the problem we have here. We have a rogue problem in America. Let's keep it 100. I'm going to do a video on this too. We have a rogue problem here. People going rogue and just doing whatever they want to do. In real time, not thoughts, not perspectives and worldviews, real-time actions and operations that are rogue from American perspective and constitutional rights. That you can't call yourself American. That's just like a person that is okay. You got Iraq. You got people in different countries in Iran and or China, and this is not even on a negative note. If they are not holding up the same laws that you have here in America, that's why they are not Americans. Technically speaking, They don't have the same policies you have. They don't have the same perspective you have. And they don't have the constitutional rights that you uphold. Therefore, they don't have the perspective or live the life that these rights allow us to live. And if you break those laws and you don't uphold those laws and you don't allow those laws to exist in our society, this is no longer America, period. It's not the essence of America. You can think about it all day, but if you're not doing the Constitution, if you're not upholding those laws, it's not America. It's just a shell of what it used to be. No one has those rights anymore. No one's upholding those rights anymore. Therefore, it's not, what is it worth? What is the Constitution worth and the amendment rights worth when they're not upheld in your community? Bottom line, boom. Okay, so let me get back to the German Illuminati versus the American Illuminati. The American Illuminati is taking on the same perspective of these people that just go rogue here in America. They got that disease too. And they have fluctuated away from the original purpose. So now they are like everyday Americans. The negative ones. They're greedy, they're malicious, they're hateful. They're everything, all the negative. The Illuminati here is all the negative things that the negative Americans are. It is the negative Americanizing of the Illuminati, adding negative things to this group that has destroyed its reputation and brought judgment on that group. So I want you to know, I can look you straight in the eye. I know about the Illuminati. I know about the leader, and you're not that. While you think that I'm some person walking around in ignorance, I'm not. So you can't look at me like that. You can't look at me like I'm some ignorant person that don't know. So I don't care about what your real intentions of you trying to point to Adam Weishaupt, because you're not living the way he did. You can't point to him. It's the same thing with Americans. You can't point to the Constitution when you're not living that way. You can't talk about this is America when you're not living that way. When you're not upholding the rights of Americans. You can't say, this is America. No, it ain't. And the same thing for people that would try to gather, these Illuminati people that would try to gather other people that would try to defend the original. The American Illuminati is guilty of not being the original, putting themselves in wars because they were not acting as the original Illuminati. So how can you save them in your right conscience? That's for the members that's in Germany, all around the world. How can you save them in your right conscience when their problem is they're Americanized, just like these American corrupt politicians? They're just as corrupt as these politicians. Put it like that. And all the politicians are not corrupt, but some are. Okay? So they're no different. They're just Americanized people. That's not the energy of the Illuminati. It's the energy of stinking, funky Americans. And that's why you have judgment now on America. It's not the Illuminati fault. It's Americans' fault for hijacking the group and acting like that's who you are, and you're not upholding the perspectives, just like America doesn't uphold the perspectives of the Constitution present day in January 2022. It's no different. So what we have and what we're coming to and what God is showing us is that America is the problem. Yeah, it's not the Illuminati. So we got to abstract America out of the planet, the world community. We got to. They've given a bad representation of the Illuminati. Now people can't stand that group. So I say, and I want to say this. People don't care what the original group was and what they did, because now we have another. You've caused wars. You've caused wars, and we don't care what the original group is, because you're not that anyway. So what I want to do is abstract you from that group and charge you as a filthy, corrupt American, gang stalking people and playing around people because you don't even hold the same perspectives as Adam Weasel. We want America brought before a trial, before the global community. We want the global community to look at these filthy dog Americans. That's what we want. Because the bottom line is the perspectives that they have, giving people money, offering you success, this Illuminati group, these American Illuminatis offering you success, all these type of different things. That ain't nothing but some scam, con foolishness from Americans. Offering you wealth and success like some con psychic. And that's all it is. Hateful and killing each other just like Americans do. Or killing other Americans just like Americans do. That's all. That ain't nothing but American. That ain't got nothing to do with that group. That is a group that used the name. These are Americans that use that group's name to do what they want to do. So they can hide behind it when they go international. No, we want these people that claim that they're Illuminati here in America to be charged as filthy, gang-stalking, dirty, corrupt Americans that are not fit to even live. You're not fit to live, Amar. We need to put you in the jungle somewhere. We need to put you in a cage somewhere. That's what we need to do. Yeah. Because, what do we do with people like this? I'm going to come with part 2, 3 on this.